Everybody wants bigger arms, and I've got 3 keys that'll get you there. Let's talk about it. Todd here from Modern Dad Bodz. Today we're talking about arms. Doesn't matter if you're a dad or not, it seems like everyone these days wants bigger, fuller, more developed arms. Well, there's 3 keys that I've come to learn and study and apply that have helped myself and others achieve those arms that we all want. The first key is going to be exercising the biceps and the triceps at least 2 times a week. Now, one of those days needs to be an entire day focused on the biceps and triceps and supersetting between the biceps and the triceps. To give you an example, let's say Monday you're hitting chest. Along with chest, you're going to throw in some bicep exercises. Tuesday, let's say you're hitting back, you're going to throw in some tricep exercises. So on Monday and Tuesday, we've already hit the biceps and the triceps 1 time. Give yourself a few days break, and then you're going to focus an entire day on the biceps and triceps. So that can either be a Friday or a Saturday. By setting aside an entire day just on your biceps and triceps, it'll create the focus, the blood flow, the pump on just the arms themselves. So key number 1, exercising the biceps and triceps at least 2 times during the week. Key number 2 is going to be incorporating isolation movements for the biceps and the triceps during the exercise. Now, compound movements are important and they're necessary for overall size, strength, and mobility. Isolation exercises are going to do a couple things for the muscle. First, it's going to put the full tension on the specific muscle that you're targeting. Now, putting that tension on that one muscle is going to lead to more muscle growth on that specific targeted muscle. Second thing it's going to do is it's going to strengthen the neurological connection between the brain and the muscle. Now, what this stronger neurological connection is going to do for the body, first off, it's going to help that muscle work more efficiently when it comes to lifting weight, which will lead to the ability to lift more weight. Secondly, having a strong neurological connection between the brain and the targeted muscle is it's going to teach that body, and it's going to teach your body and remind yourself that that tissue is important. So when you're dieting, when you're cutting calories, or like us, when you're hitting the gym first thing in the morning on an empty stomach and your body is trying to burn whatever it can for energy, the brain is going to remind yourself that that muscle is important. It's going to preserve and keep that muscle safe while you're burning everything else for energy. The last thing that isolation exercises are going to do is it's going to increase the amount of blood flow to the targeted muscle. Now, blood ultimately is a transporter. When you flood the muscle with blood, you're flooding it with oxygen, with amino acids, and with glucose, which will ultimately turn into glycogen. All these nutrients are absolutely necessary when it comes to rebuilding, repairing, and recovering from exercises, which will lead to muscle growth. The third key is focusing on the eccentric movement or the eccentric contraction while you're doing the exercise. Now, the eccentric movement is ultimately where you are returning the weight to its starting position. So for example, when you're doing a bicep curl, as you lower the bar or the dumbbells down to the floor, that is going to be the eccentric movement. When we focus on the eccentric movement, it's going to do 1 of 2 things. First off, it's going to keep you safe. If you're focusing on that eccentric movement, that means you're bringing the bar or the dumbbell to that returning position. If it's slow and under control, you're not going to hurt yourself. You're not going to tear the muscle or the tendon. People get injured when they drop the weight and then suddenly try to stop it. If you focus on that eccentric movement, it'll keep you safe, it'll keep the muscle safe and allow you to grow. The second thing that the eccentric movement's going to do is it's going to create tension on the muscle for a longer period of time. As I talked about before with the isolation movements, that's going to put more tension on the muscle. As we focus on the eccentric movement, that's going to put the tension for a longer period of time. Now, time under tension leads to a couple things to allow muscle growth. The first thing that it does is it leads to what's called cell swelling. Now, we will get into cell swelling in depth in another video. For the purposes of this video, just remember that cell swelling creates a very anabolic environment within the muscle cell itself and around the muscle cell. If we have an anabolic environment for the muscle cell, that's going to allow our body to grow. So with these 3 keys, you guys, first off, exercising the biceps and the triceps at least 2 times a week and making sure 1 day or 1 exercise is completely focused entirely on the biceps and triceps while supersetting between the 2. Second key is incorporating isolation exercises into your workouts. And then the third is focusing on the eccentric movement.
Thanks so much for watching, guys. 3 keys to bigger arms. Make sure you try these and incorporate them in your next workout. If you haven't already, subscribe to our YouTube channel. We're brand new. We've got a lot more information coming. Like the video, comment below what else you want to see from us, and we'll make it happen. We'll see you guys on the next one.